Welcome. This story is Reverend Thomas's false teeth. Now, these are my teeth, they're real. It's one of the hardest bones in the body you could feel. These are the teeth of Reverend Thomas, but what's pretty interesting about his teeth is they're not real. Don't know if you knew this. George Washington, the man who was on the $1 bill in America, his teeth, I heard, fell out and they put wood in his teeth. So this is a story told by Gail Gillerlane, pictures by Dina Schutzer. We're gonna learn about this Reverend's teeth. Some really nice images in this book. A long time ago, on the eastern shore of the Chesapeake Bay in Maryland, there lived a little girl. Her name was Gracie. On this particular afternoon, Gracie was setting the table, meaning she was organizing it. She was trying to do a specially good job because Reverend Thomas was coming to dinner. The beautiful colors in this picture are nice. You could see in the back they are cooking some food. Because it's a special day, because the Reverend is coming. Mama had cooked his favorite fried chicken and was just taking a pie out of the oven. The aromas that floated in from the kitchen made Gracie's stomach growl, her hunger, because she was loving those smells. As she placed the last fork on the table, Gracie declared that the preacher Thomas could not walk through the door soon enough to suit her. All she was thinking about was, woo, my belly's hungry. Look at that chicken up on that table. Suddenly the door flew open. Gracie's brother poked in. He burst in. His name was Will. "Daddy, come quick," he called. "The Reverend Thomas has lost his false teeth overboard." That means they fell out. Without a doubt, Will was beginning to shout, "What we gonna do?" Daddy rushed off with Will. Mama and Grace followed. With them they will find him. The family hurried down to the pier. With a dozen curious neighbors were there. Trailing behind, there stood Reverend Thomas, praying for the safe stake of the return of his lost teeth. He looks everywhere. He looks like he's dancing, but actually he's not. He's just there thinking and asking, "Where are my teeth? Where did they go? I have no clue. I don't even know." As he soon said amen, the people will all started talking at once. "How did it happen?" they asked. What can we do? We have to get the preacher Thomas's teeth back to him. Yes, it's true. Back before some mean old Jimmy Crab makes off with them. Cause you see, in Maryland, there are so many crabs and they're so delicious. They are climbing and swimming under in the ocean. Cause the Chesapeake Bay is so big with the motions of the ups and high tides that will come. "I know how to get his teeth," announced Gracie as she ran and she run and she came and she said, "Here's what we got to do." "Be quiet," Gracie said. "Will, I'll get them." He took a deep breath and jumped off into the water. Twice he came up for air and swam back down to look for the teeth. He looked until his eyes stung from the salt water, but he was strong and young. But he could not find them. Finally Will gave up. "Look under, there's the crab and all of the garbage that was under. See, you got all these little fishes and these bottles and cups and dirty dishes." And he's looking, oh no, but he can't find it. So Reverend is okay. So he says, "That was a brave try, Will," the Reverend said. Gracie pulled on her mother's sleeve. Wait, Mama, I know how to get his teeth," she said. "Hush, hush, honey. Let us think," Mama said softly. Look at her thinking there. A man spoke up. "I bet we could scoop them up with the crab net." Several boys ran off. Soon they returned, carrying crab nets in their hands, ready with hearts with concern. The Reverend Thomas and the others gathered around, making the sound of nets as they passed through the water and pound. The boys pulled the nets through the water and dragged them up along the bottom, but nothing came out. Time after time, they raised the nets only to find them empty and holding waters of the wrong catch. No, we don't want any crabs, and no, we don't want any fish. No, no. Thank you, boys, said the Reverend Thomas. I know you did your best. He tried to look calm, but his forehead began to wrinkle with worry. I know how to get his teeth, Gracie said, hoping someone would listen to her. No one paid her any mind, so off she ran to her house. I'll show them, she declared, because she was a smart child, girl. We'll have to try tonguing up those teeth, said Gracie's dad. He and some other man fetched their oyster tongs. Now, oysters are little animals that live under the water, and they stick on the bottom of boats, usually. Actually, those are mussels. Oysters are large, kind of clams that open and close like this. They worked their heavy tongs over and over, lower, open, close, and lift. But did they get anything? No, only lots of garbage. They brought up 5 bottles, an old shoe, and a mess of oyster shells, but no teeth. Thank you, brothers, said Reverend Thomas. I don't know what else we can do, said Gracie's dad. No one else did either. They were sad. Then Gracie came walking, holding up one end of the long length of the string. The other was hidden in her apron pocket. She took something from the pocket and threw it over the water. The string unfurled and plop! The thing it was tied to dropped into the water. After only a few minutes, she pulled up the string. You think she's gonna get it? Is she gonna get the teeth? Boop! There, clamped firmly on the mysterious object, were Reverend Thomas's false teeth. How did you do that? The people wanted to know what's on the string. At the big picnic, Preacher Thomas said he could not keep his teeth out of the good fried chicken, so I used Mama's fried chicken for bait, Gracie said. Everyone got a good laugh from that. Preacher Thomas popped his store-bought teeth back into his mouth and thanked Gracie. Thank you for all your help, the Reverend Thomas said. Especially you, Gracie. You outfought us all. Shall we go have dinner now? The rest of my mouth waters to taste that chicken. Gracie, her family, walked the Reverend Thomas to the house, and they all gave thanks and sank their teeth into the delicious fried chicken and dinner at the specialty well-set table. That's our story about Reverend Thomas's false teeth. What's the lesson? We need to listen to everyone's ideas. Sometimes someone is small, sometimes someone is big, someone is medium size, some people are young, some people are old. All ideas have a place and a value. And it's also just funny, no? She took the chicken that she knew that her mom said that the Reverend liked and threw it in the water like a bait, like fishing. And the fish was the teeth. So think the blessings of the teeth that you have that work. Keep brushing them. I don't know if you're brushing or flossing or using mouthwash like Listerine, but brush them. And if they fall into the ocean, meaning you lose something that's important, you can ask other people's opinions to get their ideas on what you may need to do to find them. And we may not only lose our teeth, we may also lose for a brief moment the direction of where we want to put our energies. So choose your energy direction. It's a nice story to me. And listen to all opinions. Hope you enjoyed the Reverend Thomas's false teeth, coming a story straight from Maryland.